Hey, the label will destroy your career as a musician, and now I will tell you why. Don't forget to subscribe on my channel and let us start. So, it's far from certain that label will make you a star, but you'll be 100% slave to the label because you'll have a contract on your hands. Yeah, don't be surprised. The label's job is to make a fuckload of money from you, so they will always be on the take. Their job is to squeeze the most of you and throw you away, preferably so even if you die. So, now let's talk about how you will be turned into slave. The contract is confusing and has many nuances that are difficult for an artist to understand. To put it simply, they lend you a sum of money which you have to pay back with sales of your track. There is going to be a lot of pressure on you, the money is invested and you have a debt hanging over you and you have to work off that debt. So let's imagine that you're given 1 million for the duration of the contract. The first tranche is an amount of money, usually a lot of money the artist has probably never seen. So you get sucked into a trap, hoping you're gonna get your head around that kind of money and telling you to spend it on things like cars, expensive brands, and some kind of not cheap stuff to keep your image up. So you have walked into a trap. You have 1 million and let's say a motherfucking label gives you 250 grand. Technically, you owe 250k since the rest hasn't been spent yet. Of course, you go to the most expensive studio and label will kindly lend you to for weeks or even for months. The duff will be subtracted from the 750 you have left. Okay, you spent 150k to finish your album or few tracks. You spend it on mixing, recording, ghostwriters, beatmakers. The label will pay for all that and pick you the most expensive ones, definitely the most expensive ones. So you're already 400,000 in debt. Congratulations. You just bought a car, real estate, recorded an album, but you haven't even had a chance to promote your track, of course. The next step is marketing. Certainly, marketers will aspire that your track has to be in all tops of charts and you will give for it still 150,000 from above and already $550,000 a debt. Then of course there is a radio. You can't pay radio directly, but labels find some workarounds and pay another $100,000 more. There your debt of course grows. And you also need to take into account the cost of various managers who work on your popularity every day, and of course they also want to eat, so another $100 goes to them. Congratulations, you're popular and now you're a star. You want to go on tour of course, and a star like you have the most expensive flights, restaurants, hotels and food, and of course you have to pay for it. You add 500,000 for this pleasure and now you owe even more than $1 million, and many artists will say that everything is cool and it's worth it. But let's say you're a hit maker and you had brought in $1.5 million and you paid 1.1 million, that leaves $400,000. But you won't see that kind of money. You will only see a measly 4, 5, 6 or maximum 10 at best of that amount. It's kind of good, but it depends on the contracts. And there is a type of contract that called 360, where any musical activity of an artist outside the label territory generates income and part of that money belongs to the label. Isn't that scary? You become financially dependent on the label. Any show, performance or YouTube channel with your name or face in it, a huge chunk of it you give to the label. You're totally dependent now. The label tells you what to wear, how to wear, what words to say and what not to say. So you're a slave in a golden cage. That's if you're lucky, and if you are unlucky, the label will take everything from you as debt because they have lawyers and you won't have a chance to defeat them. You're in a debt all the time, you're living in a suspense, and your fans also will be manipulated by label. If you think you can do what you want, no, it's not right, you cannot. You're a slave and you'll do as you're told. And you will be told to lead a very expensive and beautiful lifestyle so that the likes of you will fall for the show and sign a contract with the labels. The labels make you think they're your only ticket to the light, there is no other way. And if you also die, so it's a very good moment for them because that artist bring in even more money for your popularity. and Juice and Tentacion won't let you lie. So the labels keep you in debt all the time, run your life to show them to others and promote many brands about you, while you get a pittance compared to the label. If you want to sign a contract, be careful and don't fall for these tricks. Don't become another slave in a golden cage. Good luck to you. Don't forget to subscribe on my channel, put the like, leave the comment. I want to know your opinion about it, so I will be very grateful for you if you do it for me. Thanks very much. Have a nice day. Be part of family, be part of legacy.